We're off.
Welcome to Receiving Famous Packages with your host, Nigel Rathbone, where we wait for the post to bring our packages from famous people or famous locations.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Broadcasting live from high atop Stonehead Peak in the Blue Mountain Range, overlooking gorgeous downtown Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. It's the Jeff and Dan Show. Greetings, Earthlings. It's 7 o'clock. It's Wednesday. It's the Jeff and Dan Show. That's right. It's the Jeff and Dan Show. One of us is, thank you. Thank you very much. You may be asking, what is the Jeff and Dan Show? Well, the Jeff and Dan Show is currently a podcast that is produced, funded, and distributed by a large evil corporation, the Jeff and Dan Show Incorporated. The design of the Jeff and Dan Show Incorporated podcast is to allow you, the listener, to eavesdrop on the very private conversations between two 16-year-old boys trapped in grown men's bodies. All the while, the large evil corporation, the Jeff and Dan Show Incorporated, hereinafter known as the Corporation, maintains an evil eye on the vital signs, brainwaves, and muscle movements of the unsuspecting listener and two lab rats, who, coincidentally, are being groomed by the Corporation to take over broadcasting the Jeff and Dan Show. Well, because they are cuter and funnier than Jeff and or Dan. Thank you for tuning in today, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm Dan in the Jeff and Dan Show, and sitting across from me is the Jeff in the Jeff and Dan Show. So please give a nice warm welcome. Jeff, how are you?
Not too bad, sir. How are you?
Oh, I would be doing pretty good if I wouldn't have screwed up my monologue.
That's
so
okay.
Damn bad.
This shit happens.
Insert another quarter, we'll get another chance.
That's right. You can play it. You can play it. I know you can play it. Oh. All right, we've become the Pac-Man show or some shit. Yeah.
We have Pac-Man fever.
Yes. Fever of the Pac-Man. So, man, what is happening, dude?
Oh, not really a whole bunch. We have some very fun things to do today.
Fun things.
We have our TV show game. We have our TV game show theme.
All right.
Well, and I said that wrong. We have our TV show theme game.
Hey, man, there you go.
And we have bonus this week. We have TV game show theme.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We also have some listener email. We've got some listener email. We finally got around to opening them up. And we replied to a couple of them.
Okay.
We also got... Maybe we get a chance, we'll talk a little bit about Bill Cosby, and then we'll talk about some Pennsylvania legislation that is about ready to be signed by Governor Wolf. That ought to be real fun and exciting.
Nice.
I promise I will make it fun and exciting.
Let's get bitchy.
Let's get bitchy.
That's right.
What do you got today, Mr. Jeff?
I am working on trying to get the sound effects improved for our stuff. Other than that, just no game show stuff. I don't know.
No game show stuff.
I'm going to wait and play there, yes. So that's going to be playing that, video game show type stuff.
Good. See to it that he finds
these nuts.
All right. So he's got to find these nuts. Yeah. So we've got Darth Vader being nutsed.
Don't we always?
Yes. But first we must talk about our movie. Yes, that's right. The Jeff and Dan Show movie. It's crazy as fuck. And it makes a different horn every time. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of interesting that we would go this route. Yes, it's weird and loving. It's the Jeff and Dan Show movie. Coming soon to an asshole near you.
All about horns.
Yeah. That's all we're doing is playing horns. Yes. So, but other than that,
Jeff's got herpes. Sorry,
yes,
Jeff.
He's apologized for that. Yeah. So anyway, How was your week?
Oh, just about the same. How about yours?
Up and down. Up and down. Yeah, there were some really low points this week, I guess.
Do elaborate if you can.
Yeah, just, I don't know, not depression or anything like that. It was mostly situations
Well, I'll explain one for you, and I will play a thing for it too. Hang on a moment here. Here we go. If you don't know who this is Chris Cornell.
Yeah, I know who it is.
The lead singer of Soundgarden.
Was the lead singer of Soundgarden.
Correct.
I know where there's a job opening now.
See, Trump's making fucking jobs, man. Anyway, yeah, he had a beautiful voice. It was
Yeah, he
incredible.
did have a nice voice. He did have a nice voice.
Incredible person as well, too. From what I understand, very nice.
Did you know me and him and another guy actually wrote a song?
No.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Well, they changed the words around a little bit, and we were all in a group called Temple of the Hog.
Ooh, okay.
Get it? Temple
Yeah.
of the Hog.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. What was the song? I had to fuck your joke up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Well, my thing, though, is, it drug me down a little bit to hear that he had died because growing up, he was definitely, a big portion of our 20s and 30s. Even, the past couple of years, he'd still been, active and doing stuff. But, with his death, man, it just really, really drove me into the ground. And
Why?
I don't know. It was upsetting, I guess, because it
Because
made
he's
me
only
look at
52 years old?
right. Because it made me take a look at my life, like yours and my life. And I kind of thought, it just sucks that, this guy ended up dying. And it seems to me like things like that can happen and there's not really much you can do about it. But the worst part about it for me is that he personified everything that was the 90s. Okay. There's two guys in the world that I would suggest you this. Number one was Chris Cornell. He is like the amazing, transformation of a guy who was nothing and then just became this lead singer for this really sort of underground grunge band. And then eventually made stardom. And not only that, went off to play with other bands, and even did a solo career. Mm-hmm. And I was taking it that he was, a really nice guy that, everybody tended to like. It wasn't, he didn't break up bands because he wanted to break them up. He just, he said, it's time for me to work on some other stuff. And
I can relate.
It's him and Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl, more than Kurt Cobain ever, is extremely good.
You think?
And yeah, he's extremely good at playing music, and good at telling people the way that it is. He's the one that suggested, that if you really, really want to become famous for your music, then go out to a garage, get some instruments, some really old shitty instruments, and just fucking suck. That's exactly what he said. Just go out there and play. You're going to suck. Just suck. And eventually you'll start to build upon that. And if you build upon that, you can actually create, music that people want to hear. And that's what that guy did, man. He went on from Nirvana and, being the drummer in Nirvana to becoming the rhythm guitarist, lead singer for Foo Fighters, which is a band he sort of created after the death of Kurt Cobain. And really, both of these men personify the way music should have been. And it comes across like... If you could tell a story with these two guys' lives and what they've done, it would definitely say something to the effect of, things change, and people, change. They're throughout their lives. They're going to change, and you just look at their beginnings, and then look at, Chris Cornell's dead now, but you'd look at Dave Grohl's, career. And it went from, Smells Like Teen Spirit to 10 freaking, singles off his last album that were like, hits for the most part. It really shows that, that you can't, like, for instance, when you talk about Nirvana, you can't be like, oh yeah, Kurt Cobain was Nirvana. Well, he really wasn't. You know what I mean? He's the one that wrote the lyrics for stuff, and he came up with some guitar riffs.
That's the problem with frontmen. Everybody automatically assumes the band is the frontman.
Right, that's true. Especially if they're a dual person, like Chris Cornell and Dave Grohl are both dual roles. They play guitar and they sing. So usually people, yeah, correct. They usually assume that they're the ones that write all the music and make all the songs happen.
Kurt Cobain or Kurt Cobain? Did he play an instrument?
Yes.
Was he a bass guitarist?
No, he was the lead. He was the guitarist, the only guitarist in the band.
So all those riffs are his?
Yeah. For
All
the most
those
part.
leads are his?
Yeah. Not too many leads, but yeah. See, grunge music was the thing that sort of came out of rock and roll and allowed kids to express their anger and their, disenchantment with society.
Grunge was more angrier.
Right. And that was the thing. A lot of the times, some of the grunge music, it was just an orchestration. It wasn't like, okay, here's the chorus, here's the verse, here's the bridge, here's the lead, any of that stuff. It was kind of like this break apart of, we can kind of do whatever we want with the music as long as it doesn't cause people to fail thinking about the music. But Chris Cornell, his life is so. I mean, the stuff that he's done throughout his life and his career, up until now, was stoic. It's a story that someone could tell basically their kids, and show how this guy was like this amazing musician. Only because of his voice, though. I wouldn't say because of his guitar. But
Oh, he did have a very good voice.
yeah.
But he done pissed me off.
Why?
He killed himself.
So they think.
Who else was going to string him up and hang him?
No. I'm thinking.
Chris, come here. I want to try something.
Well, here I'm talking about this guy having a stoic career and being this wonderful person, and we're going to find out that he died from autoerotic asphyxiation. You know what I mean? Like he was jacking off and fucking had a belt around his neck, and
he did one of the In Excess guy.
Michael Hutchins.
Michael Hutchins.
That's what I said.
He did it in Excess.
Yeah, and also Keith Carradine did the same thing.
Well, if that's what happened, that's a hell of a way to go out the door.
Exactly.
But if he did kill himself, I have problems with that.
Okay.
It pisses me off, and first of all, to think that you had something.
Right.
You had something. People looked up to you.
Something big.
You led people. And here you are, you just killed yourself. Just decide. And do you know how many people, not you, but anybody that has killed themselves? Not just Chris.
Right.
But anybody.
Right.
Do you have any idea how many people? No, they don't. How many people they hurt?
Oh, no. Yeah, they won't. I mean, the thing is, and that's what everybody tries to say, is they try to say things like, the reason why they do this stuff is because, they can't think about all the other people, and they can't think about, they only think about themselves.
That's pretty selfish.
It is. You're right. And that to me has always screamed, hey, suicide seems very selfish.
And, and what are people like that teaching young people? Oh, yeah, you can go play guitar. You can get it just as good. You could sing. You could make multi-platinum records.
Right.
You could be the star of the show. You can hang yourself when you're all done.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. And
No.
it's horrible. I mean, yeah, that's...
Now, I'm still getting over Robin Williams' death.
Oh, yeah.
I still have a problem with him killing himself.
That was a little bit more understandable, though.
It's a little bit more understandable, yes, but no.
Right. I mean, yeah, still in the
Yes.
case, yeah.
I can't judge him because he had a terminal illness.
Right.
It was going to get bad.
Yeah. He was going to be, not looked upon the same way. It was like a great example of that is Dick Clark. Dick Clark, big dude for the longest time. When you think of New Year's, you think of Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. You think about that kind of stuff, and you automatically, create this memory of him doing his gig. Whether it was that or if it was the dance show that he had
American
on TV.
Bandstand.
Yeah, American Bandstand. So, I mean, you think about that kind of stuff. And when he had a stroke, everybody was still trying to put him into, go do this, Dick. Go do the Rockin' Eve thing. We want you to be there.
You're fine.
Right, exactly. And everybody was saying, probably around him was probably saying shit like, I don't even notice the fact you're slurring your words. Come on, just go do it, make some money. That was the thing. And it was problematic because, yeah, that's, I think, is exactly what Robin Williams was trying to avoid. He didn't want that time in the spotlight. He didn't want to get caught by paparazzi because, be honest, that's what they would be doing. They'd be hunting him down just to be able to find out what disease he has or
to get that picture.
Right,
To
exactly.
get that picture.
Exactly.
Which is going to be commonly known. But Michael J. Fox is doing it.
True, but then again, he's also the face of that Parkinson's disease.
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, he's the leader of the spokesperson for Parkinson's.
Well, there he took what life gave him was a lemon,
right? And
he turned it into, well, lemonade.
Yeah.
Sorry to use the old cliche.
In a milkshake sort of way. But anyway, just to close that out, I was very saddened by the fact that Chris Cornell killed himself, or I'll just say die in perpetuity. He could have, like I said, it could have been something else. It could have been him trying to get off, or maybe somebody hung him. Like they were trying to. It wasn't autoerotic; it was just erotic asphyxiation. You know what I mean? It could be one of those things.
Could be.
And the other thing that really kind of got to me too was one of the bands that was opening for Soundgarden, and they had just finished their tour. That was it. Soundgarden was getting ready to leave to go Rock on the Range tour or on festival. This other band had their own things. They were going to go to the Rock on the Range festival. This other band's called The Pretty Reckless, and they've had a lot of hits on the song or on the radio, a lot of hit songs. And the lead singer of the band is Taylor Momsen. She's an extremely fine-looking woman. But she was pretty well back, tore up, you know what I mean? Because she had been hanging out with Soundgarden for like the past 10, 15 gigs, you know what I mean? What?
Hanging out with...
Probably the wrong choice of words. Yeah, they were just hanging out. But no, yeah. So she was pretty, grief stricken too, because she died. That was their last gig, was the one in Detroit with them, and something in my brain automatically popped and said, "Hey, maybe it's the fact that Chris, he's married to a pretty nice looking woman." But maybe he was doing Taylor Momsen. And then like the tour was ending and he was just like, I'm so distraught, and went in and cinched that shit around his neck. I don't know, who knows. The one thing they didn't share on the news, at least I was looking for and I didn't see it, was whether or not he was naked or not. That's going to tell you everything. If he was naked or if his shit was hanging out, then he was probably trying to get off. But if not, then he was probably trying to get on.
Dude, let me ask you a question. What exactly happens? What are they looking for when they're doing that autoerotic self-asphyxiation thing?
Well, it's the thing that if you can strangle yourself enough right before you have a climax, right before you come, then the brain, since it's lacking oxygen, lacking blood, is 10 times better and the way it's supposed to work, from what I understand, because I've never really tried it, but from what I understand, they're trying to pull a belt on their throat enough so that it starts making their brain, kind of meh, and then, they're getting off, and as they're getting off, they let the belt loose, and all the energy just shoots right to their head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a high on top of an orgasm, which is weird, but But there's tons and tons of videos and shit out there where people, do porns and stuff.
Man,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of it.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to drag us down. Let's get back into the fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun. You want to do some listener email?
Let's do some listener email.
Okay. All right. John Murphy from Gatlinburg, Tennessee writes, Dear Jeff and Dan, I have been listening to you guys for 12 or 13 years now. Great show. About 2 years ago, I sent in $49.99 for the Jeff and Dan Show commemorative T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Commemorating the 3rd annual Jeff and Dan picnic and mud football game.
Okay.
I didn't receive it.
Oh.
Last year, I sent a check for $29.99 for a collector's stein depicting the Jeff and Dan victory in the National Hops and Scotch Tournament.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one, too.
I think that has been lost in the mail or something.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's really...
Yeah.
And he goes on. Last month, my debit account was charged $9.99 plus $4.99 shipping and handling for the Jeff and Dan fidget spinner.
Ooh.
I still have not got that, and I didn't get a tracking number.
Ooh.
I was wondering if you guys could check into this for me, as the spinner is a gift for my son's birthday. Thanks, John Murphy.
Well, John.
Yeah. I wrote a response.
Okay.
I had some time. I was thinking about them.
All right.
Dear John.
John Deere letter.
Dear John, we here at the Jeff and Dan Show are deeply saddened that you did not receive the services and products which you have paid for.
All right.
While we here at the Jeff and Dan Show do everything possible to promote good quality products that bear our name, we recognize that some things fall through the crack. Unfortunately, we hire an outside company to promote, sell, and ship all merchandise, and we have no control over them. The only solution that we can provide is that you send us a money order for the amount of $99.95, and we can begin the investigation process.
Let's look into things for $99.95.
We need some new equipment. Thanks, John. In regards, Jeff and Dan.
That's right. Very cool.
Okay. All right. Dale from Snowshoe, Pennsylvania,
Dale.
complains, Dear Jeff and Dan, you guys suck,
Oh, boy.
and you have bad breath. You are making my speakers stink.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I took the liberty of responding to this one too.
Okay.
Dear Dale, we understand that you are obviously suffering from stupidity, and we here at the Jeff and Dan Show have devised a new scientific way for which to relieve people from their stupidity. It's a simple and quick process. What I need you to do is gently place your left ear up against any one of your speakers that is emitting our show. Second, place your index finger in your right ear so as not to let any sound in or out. And thirdly, hold still. This will only be a fraction of a second, but it is imperative that you remain completely motionless. Okay, ready? Here goes. Thank you. Sincerely, Jeff and Dan.
I thought for sure you were going to.
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
That's a good response, too.
Yeah.
Amy from Kellerville, Pennsylvania sends us this note. Hi, Jeff and Dan. I just wanted to say that I think you two guys are so crazy and you both sound so sexy. You're right. If you guys are ever in Kellerville, stop in and have a visit. Thanks. Love, Amy.
All right.
Yeah, we're free tomorrow.
I say, yeah. I'm available.
All right.
Let's do some shit.
We got one more.
Okay.
One more. Hunter from Havre de Grace, Maryland writes, Dear Jeff of the Jeff and Dan Show. This is one personally for you.
For me?
Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
I am still looking for the Jeff and Dan Monster Special Edition can.
Oh.
Are they sold out? And what is your particular favorite kind of monster?
All right. Green.
Green monster?
The regular monster.
Are we sold out of the special edition Jeff and Dan Show cans?
Yeah, actually we are. We ran out about a week ago.
Well, there you go. Too bad, Hunter. But we hope we answered your questions. And that concludes our listener email. If you would like to write to Jeff and Dan, Jeff, why don't you tell them the address in which they can write, email, or send food to?
Okay. You want to send it to the address 1234 Somewhere Place in Somewhere, Pennsylvania. And that's 17111.
Oh, great.
There we go.
Any kind of email address they could email us at?
They could email us at gofuckyourself@jeffanddan.com. Oh, but wait a minute. If it's something nice, then just go ahead and send it to info@jeffanddan.com. Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
And get some info about how to do it. And take pictures, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking A.
Well, that concludes our Jeff and Dan listener email bit for tonight.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because...
And knowing is half the battle.
Yes, because knowing is half the battle.
Yes. Hey, by the way, did you know today is National Escargot Day?
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting. You tried that trick last week with Jackie, I think, when you tried to say, do you like snails? And then she was like, no. Do you like escargot? She's like, that's just French for snails. Yeah, you're good.
Well, today is National Escargot.
Oh, get the fuck out of town.
It is National Escargot.
All right.
Who the hell would put one of them things in their mouth.
Who figured it out?
Who figured it out?
There's
You
just-
had to be starving.
Yeah.
And there was nothing else to eat. It was
Yeah.
just a big, wide open field of dirt.
And
the only thing you
snails.
saw was a snail.
Don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure that there's people out there who have kind of tried everything. You know, they've tried snails and they've tried horse shit. And they've tried, you know what I mean? Like they've tried eating the stuff. And I think it's you know, even
Man, you must be high than motherfucker.
if you're gonna end up doing that kind of shit,
Well, you
gotta
have to be.
Exactly.
You have. Again, you can do walk out, eat the grass if you're that hungry.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, there was a James Bond movie called Quantum of Solace, which was one of the newer ones with Daniel Craig. He's playing James Bond, which, by the way, one of the Bonds just died. We'll talk about that in a second. But Quantum of Solace, there's a scene at the end where he takes the bad guy and drops him off in the middle of the desert because this bad guy killed this woman that James Bond was sleeping with, and how he killed her was he dumped her in a vat of fucking oil, like motor oil. Yeah. And she died. And then he took her out. I don't know how they got her in so clean, but they did. They got her in nice and clean into the bedroom of James Bond's hotel. Yeah, and left her there for dead. So anyway, at the end of this movie, James Bond takes the bad guy, drops him off in the middle of the desert, and says, "Here." He goes, "I bet you'll get about 20 miles before you think about drinking this can of motor oil." And they said, at the very, very end of the movie, they said, they found him. They found Lashif, I think is what his name was. They found Lashif 22 miles away from, you know, the place that he was supposedly at, full of motor oil. Yeah, he had drank it. So
Karma's a bitch, even in the movies.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
I love her more in the movies. Yeah.
Yepers. So what else we got?
Oh, well, tomorrow is
Ooh.
National Brown Baggot Day.
Really?
Yes. Now, I have a calendar that every single day of the year is filled with a national something or other.
Okay.
Every single week is a memorial something or other, national week of blah, blah, blah. And every month is a national month of blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who the governing body is, but they must have been really bored to go National Brown Baggot Day.
I know, right? It's like you're running out of shit to talk about. It's like National Blade of Grass Day.
At first, I thought it was National Brown Faggot Day. And
All our Hispanic gay friends have now just left the studio. Yeah.
anyways, Friday is National Blueberry Cheesecake Day.
Oh, that's Friday.
Now, I know you like blueberries.
Yes, I do.
And I know you like cheese.
I do.
Do you like blueberry and cheese?
Yes.
And cake?
Cake, yeah.
I love blueberries, but I do not like cheesecake. I imagine the blueberries would probably make the cheesecake a little bit more tolerable.
Okay.
But I probably would just eat the blueberries off. you know, I am such a glutton when it comes to sugary foods.
Yeah.
I love sugary foods.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even... well, I have a pecking order. First is chocolate,
Right.
and then things fall in after that. Fruit candies, you know, eventually I will eat them, but
Right.
all the chocolate has to be gone.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But I cannot stand cheesecake.
Really?
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's just the fact that the texture is weird. I don't know. Because it is. It's kind of like this thick mud pie or something.
Yeah,
you know?
well, it ain't nothing I ain't never had in some kind of chocolate pie.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it ain't
true.
nothing I ain't never had. Kind of want something else to eat. I am such a fucking hick.
You hick.
Anyways, Saturday.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to Saturday. Saturday is National Grape Popsicle Day.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really, really particular thing.
I know. And the people at Wise's are going to be pissed off at me whenever they find open boxes of popsicles with the grapes taken out. This one's just orange and cherry.
Stand back. I want my grape popsicles. All right.
And that does it for today is National What Kind of Food Day?
Whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to work here. We've got to go out and make some fun. Here, let's do this real quick. It's one of Howard Stern's favorite bands.
Did you ever wonder if your mom gave dad a blowjob right before she kissed you goodnight? did she swallow and eat? A lot of folks you'll never meet. And does the thought of it give you a fright? Come on.
Yeah.
Now do you ever wonder?
I did, and that's why I pretty much set up cameras in Mom and Dad's room. I had to get the answer.
You had to know. What's that white stuff on the corner of her mouth? Was she drooling in the middle of the night? No.
Actually, though, I do think, in this particular case, Mom kisses the babies first to get them to bed.
Oh, there you go. Get
Then
the little nookie afterwards.
we go have a little bit of adult fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Did
Get
she
my
swallow
junk
and eat
out.
a lot of folks on over meat? That's just wrong. So anyway, man, what's going on? What else you got?
Well, I got Bill Cosby,
Ooh,
and
let's
then I
talk about
got
Bill
our game show. That's all I have for tonight.
Okay, cool. I got some stuff.
All right. Shoot, what you got?
I'm
What you got?
thinking about coming out with a new game show for us.
All right.
This is another game show called Asked and Answered.
Asked and answered.
Sounds like a very legal, kind of thing, but it has nothing to do with that. It's a show that pits Jeff and Dan in knowledge about each other. Ask one question random about the other person and needs to guess the answer.
Give me an example.
Flip back and forth every question. In other words, like I'll ask you a question
Okay.
about me, you ask me a question about you.
Oh, like Jeff.
Hmm.
What's my favorite color?
See? That's it, exactly right.
And you don't know the answer.
Exactly. No, blue, I would say, but I have no idea. I know it's Christy McCall's favorite color, blue. One blue that way, the other blue that way. But anyway, yeah, God damn it. It sucks being Generation X and having a lot of people that are millennials listening to us.
And we don't even know the name of any of the astronauts that got torched with.
Yeah. The who went with them. It's just Christy McAuliffe. The only people that
Yeah.
we know. I have another game show that I want to do.
All
too.
right, let's yeah.
And maybe once I tell you these, maybe if you want to, take off with it or whatever. But I mean, like that one game show, we have to come up with different questions. But this one's called Two Lies and a Truth.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to tell you three things. Two of them are lies, and one of them's the truth. And you got to figure out which one's the truth.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I would say something to you like, "Wow, Donald Trump just got shot." That's one. The moon is green, and Chris Cornell died last week.
And I would have to pick out the true
Which
one.
one's the truth? Yes, yeah, because a lot of people play it the other way, where it's two truths and a lie, and you have to figure out which one's the lie. Well, the thing is with this one is we can go backwards, and don't get me wrong, it's going to be a little bit difficult because it's probably going to be things where you're just like, huh, like moon dust, the question about moon dust, or a thought about moon dust, and it could be a little bit stretched for you, but you might think that's a lie. But we're always going to keep it kind of fun. So
I like it. Let's play next week.
okay,
All right.
sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do that.
We'll start show prep right now.
Okay, I have a new slogan for the fleshlight. The fleshlight is the flashlight that men can use as fake pussy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the new fleshlight slogan should be "Fuck that." I really should be. You think about it, it's perfect. Yeah.
Why
so-
do they call it a fleshlight?
Because it resembles a flashlight.
It's just a tube.
Yeah, basically.
It has no light on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no light on it. It's just like it looks like a flashlight, and then on the very end of it, this rubbery vagina-looking thing, which, by the way, I hear is really bad because you can end up getting like diseases and shit from it. From like not cleaning it correctly over time, it'll start creating infections. Because the first time you use it's probably the best, and then the last time you use it's probably like, oh my god, this is like trying to put a fucking horse on my dick,
Hello,
like-
honey. Yeah, I'm at the store. And to clean that fleshlight, should I get Summer's Eve or Clorox?
Exactly. Yeah, so that's my thing for them. I'm hoping that they'll pick up on that and be like, yep, you know what, that's where we're gonna name it now. Yes. I got something else to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Snups.
Snups.
SNUPPS.
What's snup with those?
Snups. Yeah. Snups is an app that you get for your phone.
Okay. Yep.
It is an app that you get for your phone that is a social network of people that own collections of shoes. I shit you not.
I know this is very appealing to you and me, but I'll bet it's huge.
It is getting big. And the reason being is because the black culture really, really enjoys having their shoes, buying their shoes. I've talked to you about this before, but
definitely the men and of course the women, but white women of any color just enjoy shoes.
Right. And that's the thing. I think it's picking up on that one half of the population that definitely enjoys owning shoes or having a collection of shoes. Mm-hmm. But it's mostly for those people when they can show off like their pair of Air Jordans. I bought my 97 Jordans here that have never been worn. They're worth $65 million right now, you know. So it's one of those deals. But yeah, it's an actual app and then a social network for people that own shoes.
What are you supposed to do with this app?
You're just supposed to show off your collection of shoes.
You just show off your shoes.
It's as if you were going to build an app that was to say, hey man, I'm showing the world where I live. Come fucking rob me. That's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a shit ton of people going to be like, well, man, I checked him out on the Snups app and shit, and he had this fine-ass collection of fucking Nikes and this fine-ass collection of Air Jordans. And I was like, bitch, I got to have that shit. And then they get to the fucking house and they rob their ass. And then they're like, well, why did I get robbed, man? Because you used a fucking app that put up all your fucking nice-ass shoes. Come on, don't expect that shit to go by.
And he got robbed for his shoes, and the guy ditched him anyways because they were 2 sizes too small.
Right, yeah. Threw him away in a dumpster or a trash can somewhere downtown.
You know, I work at a post office. Yeah. And my full-time job outside of the Jeff and Dan Show Incorporated, I work at a post office, and I have 2 or 3 customers that come in and do pretty much exclusively just shoes.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. One of them is called Rare Shoe Find. I don't know if it's just one guy. It's not like a big company.
Okay.
I don't know if his thing is like, you know, I used to have this really cool pair of Nikes years ago, and I wish I could still get them because I really loved them. Oh, here's this Rare Shoe Find. Here's those Nikes. I don't know if that's it.
Right.
Or if it's something else. But these shoe people do an amazing volume of business.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, new or used, first of all.
Right.
Because would you put your feet in a pair of used shoes?
No, as a matter of fact, I just watched an news article about that tonight and watched it on TV where they were talking about certain things you don't buy used. And one of them is shoes.
Of course, you know.
Because it fits to a person's foot after a length of time of being worn.
That, and take somebody like me, I'm not being gross or anything, I'm just stating the fact, my feet sweat a lot.
Right.
So sweat, which is the same composition as urine.
Right, for the most part.
I am peeing in my shoes.
Right.
And you're buying them.
Not to mention foot stank. You know what I mean?
That and
you can get foot stank to go away. You can put some powder on it. You can put whatever you want on it to make that shit go away. But I guarantee you wear those shoes 2 more times, and it doesn't matter who wears them. That steak is going to come back.
It's going to come back.
And people are going to be mad. They're like, shit, man, I bought these used shoes and now they smell like shit. You know? Fucking Doritos across the room, bitch. You know, yeah.
And what if you have some kind of foot diseases like fungus or something like that?
Right.
A toenail fungus?
Exactly.
I don't know if is that contagious?
I don't even know, but I know this. All my life, I have never had toe fungus, okay? Yay me. But I have noticed that my wife does have the yellow toe thing, okay? And we take showers in the same tub, you know? And now I have noticed that my feet on my big toe do have some sort of shit growing on them. And I've always thought, you know, I know athlete's foot is something you can definitely get from other people. That is something that can easily be transferred. But as for that yellow fungus toenail shit where, like, you go and, like, get an actual prescription for something to get rid of it, I don't know if that's, you know, passable. But the only thing I can think of is either it is, and you can, you know, contract it by, you know, going in somebody else's after they've finished showering or whatever. Ooh. Or you could end up getting it by, you know, your body just not functioning correctly. You know what I mean? So it's either one or the other. And one is you definitely got it from somebody else. So I don't know. That's a good question, though.
And there's still people out there, just because they love shoes, are willing to take these risks.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. they'll do it. I mean, if they got to, they'll take it. You know, maybe they've got some kind of thing out there where it just, you know, they can wear the shoe, but they got their foot in it, like a sock, but it's not a sock. It's made out of like plastic or something. Who knows? Yeah.
Here's something else that's kind of related. It's just a side note, though.
Right.
Some women wear some awfully sexy high heels, and they look really good in it.
Yeah.
But how do you stand to walk in them all day?
I know. That's what I'm walking in them. And you know, I mean, if you've ever had a girlfriend or a wife or whatever that would, you know, oh, I love wearing high heel shoes, and they wear them and then they come home in them. The first thing they're doing is trying to get those fucking heels off.
And the first thing they say, my feet hurt.
Right. And then the next day comes and they put another pair of high heel shoes on and walk the fuck out. And it's like, dude, there's a lot of things that women do
That bug the shit out of you?
Yeah. That you literally fucking, yeah, because, you know, they
don't walk around naked. They don't.
Right. We need more nakedity. Yeah, no, it's just, you know, they put on makeup. They don't really have to put on makeup, but they do.
Some think they do.
Right. Well,
some think. Like I know this one particular lady. She's beautiful with her makeup on.
Right.
She takes her makeup off and her eyes are a little bit baggy.
Right.
A little bit, not so much. She's still beautiful.
Yeah.
But she feels horrible with those baggy eyes.
Right.
So she has to cover them up with something, you know, whatever they do. She looks great with it.
Right.
But yeah, I have no idea where I was going with this.
Yeah. No, we were talking about the fact that women do stuff they don't necessarily have to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so spend a lot of money.
Right.
That's
exactly.
That's one thing I appreciate about my wife.
Right.
She doesn't need makeup. She's
Right.
pretty and she knows it, and
Right.
she doesn't have to put all that on it.
Exactly. My wife has tuned hers down. She used to wear, during her 20s and stuff, she used to wear makeup a lot. You know, eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, but mascara and stuff like that. She's tuned that back a lot. Unless we're going somewhere special, then she puts on makeup, but she doesn't put on a lot, and it's good. She looks fine. She's great, you know. Of course, she's always like, you know, you never have anything nice to say about me, do you? And I'm just like, oh, fuck me.
You could say, well, honey, you have awfully great taste in men.
Your husband? I'd blow him.
Hey, that reminds me of a song I wrote.
All right.
Sometimes you want to blow everybody who has a name. Bum, bum, and they're always glad you came. That's my... Oh, yeah, I wrote another song, too. I forgot to tell you this song.
Okay.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of little kids. Sorry, Chris.
Damn.
Rest in peace. That's not him singing it.
No, not at all.
He's the one in the background going, I'm going hungry.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, so
yeah.
just real quick, other game show ideas I came up with.
ideas.
The Match Game, which is back out on television. I came up with an idea, but I have to flesh this out a little bit more. So let me get my flashlight.
Just started raining in here.
I know. What the hell, man? White goopy rain. What the fuck? The other one, another one that we can do is celebrity word association.
Okay.
Which is, what do you think of when you hear this certain celebrity's name, like Tom Cruise?
Risky business.
There you go. You got to do it quick, though.
Yeah.
You can't even think about it. You got to automatically whatever pops into your head. Christina Ricci.
Saturday.
Okay. See?
Wait,
Wednesday. She was actually Wednesday Addams. Yeah.
That's all fine, but the first thing that comes to my mind is one of their characters or one of their movies.
Right, but that's okay.
But even though Christina Ricci
But that's okay.
is cute as hell.
It doesn't matter because there will be people like O.J. Simpson.
Black.
Is that really the first thing you thought of? I thought of murderer. I don't know.
Oh my God! I can't believe I just said that.
I know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man.
That's
He's
terrible.
black. It doesn't matter.
He is black, but he's a
doesn't matter.
murderer. And
Right.
I do not equate blacks with murderers.
No,
I really
not at
don't.
all. Yeah. That's definitely
Not all
but,
the time.
But yeah, but there are some times where it comes into play. And then I also came up with another game called Gay or Nay, where I have to do some setup for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you some clips of people talking or acting or whatever, and you have to tell me if they're gay or not.
Oh God, this could be hard nowadays.
It could be, man. Gaydar right now, my Gaydar is fucked. Like I'm like 50% accuracy. That's it, 50%.
30 years ago, the shit was in tune. We could pick them out before they even talked.
Exactly. But now, not so much. Now it's just kind of like, don't know. Because the millennials, man, they're too effeminate. They have way too much effeminate shit going on. So.
Gay or nay? All
Gay or
right.
nay, yes.
Yeah.
So that would be one of our new ones as well. So I'm hoping people will tune in for that soon.
These are some fun game ideas, dude.
Yes, sir.
Very fun game ideas.
Yes, sir. So I am still working on the website. The website is up and available, jeffanddan.com. Make sure you visit there, people, because, man, you can find all kinds of neat shit there. We post all of our episodes there. Where we're going to start putting in some new video stuff here soon, and we're also actually talking about, getting some more skits done, so people actually start listening to the skits. Mm-hmm. And maybe every once in a while we'll do a skit that we don't release on Spreaker. Yeah, and we'll put it on our website, and people will have to visit there in order to get it. So.
Yeah, and then we could do promos like, check out the new skit only on Jeff and Dan got.
Yeah, jeffanddan.com. Yes, so. Do you remember way back when we were kids, after school specials?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever
Christina?
Yeah. Christina what?
What was her name?
Applegate?
No. McNichol.
Oh yeah.
Christy McNichol. She outplayed in them all the time.
Yeah, a lot of those. Do you remember the one where they were talking about? I mean, these actually happened a lot back then too, just in TV shows. It wasn't even after school specials, but it was, in one or two of them. Where they used to say, such and such got a concussion. Don't lay down. Don't go to sleep.
I've heard of that before, yeah.
Because they're like, if you do that, you'll end up dying.
I've heard of that too.
Right. And so that's not even accurate. It's really not even accurate.
There is so much wives' tales in the medical world that it will just absolutely blow your mind. And it blows my mind that I see people doing things that you should ask yourself, does this really work?
Right.
I can't think of any good for instances, but I see people acting on old wives' tales all the time. Put a stake over your eye.
Right. Yeah.
What the hell is that supposed to do?
It's supposed to make the swelling go down because it concentrates cold.
Okay,
but it doesn't work. It only works for the first 3 minutes and then it's done. It's like putting a bag of frozen peas on your face whenever you get hit or something. Yeah.
It's just a cold.
Right.
Which instead of the steak, you could use frozen peas.
Sure.
Or, here's an idea, a bag of ice.
Yeah, ice cubes. What do you know about
that?
Wow. Yeah, they're not very good about that. No, but that whole thing about that. And there's a lot of that goes on that we got taught when we were younger, and that is misinformation that just sucks. A really good one, well, actually I should say a really bad one, is... you must wait 30 minutes after eating to go swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, who the fuck concocted that shit? It was some parent who was probably like, well, I didn't want them leaving and going out and doing other stuff just yet. They need to spend some time with me.
Tell them they'll cramp up and die. Tell them they'll cramp up and die.
Exactly. And the science behind it sounded theoretically possible.
It does when you're 8 years old.
Right. It's the fact that your body's consuming calcium, sodium, and potassium in order to digest your food. That was the initial thought. And those three things are a requirement for your muscles. If you don't have those, you will get a cramp. That's just what happens. Usually potassium is the main character there.
I know, but it's a 2-foot wading fucking pool.
Right.
It's a crick. When you said it, first time I heard this, I was about 8 years old. We were getting ready to go swim in a crick that was no more than 3 freaking feet deep.
Right. Yeah.
You shouldn't eat. You're going to cramp up and die.
Yeah.
Or wait, you shouldn't swim.
Yeah. You shouldn't eat. Yeah. No, but that's right.
One of my favorites is have you ever used hydrogen peroxide on a wound?
Yes.
On open wound. Okay. You've seen how it bubbles up.
Bubbles. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the hydrogen peroxide killing the germs.
Right, yeah.
No, it ain't. It's a chemical reaction with the oxygen.
Right, exactly. The oxygen and the material that's in your blood that's causing it to do that. Yep, that's exactly right. And it is working.
Oh, it is killing germs.
Right.
But
it's inaccurate to think that that's,
you were not looking at war footage.
Right. This isn't a film of it killing germs and keeping you alive. This is, yeah. just a positive reaction in the stuff within your blood. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's what I have. Let me see here. What else do I have? And man, is New York City one of the greatest cities in the world?
Oh, I hate it.
Really?
I'm getting old. And the only city I think is beautiful anymore is either Enola, McAllisterville, or Pittsburgh.
Right. Have you started to find yourself? I don't know how often you actually get a chance to get away from home, but have you found yourself at any given time where you're sort of slightly away from home, maybe at your parents', maybe in Pittsburgh, whatever, and you find yourself saying, I would have more fun if I was at home right now, or I feel like things would be a lot different if I were at home right now instead of being out in this fucking shithole?
Only in 1 degree.
Really?
This is going to sound like I'm a nut, and I am.
You fucking nutcase.
But this is going to sound like I'm an even weirder nut.
Uh-oh.
Before 10 years ago, drop the hat, let's go camping. Drop the hat, let's go visit some, let's go get a motel room, stay, camp, anything. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Then we got a cat.
Oh, yeah.
And this cat is my second best good buddy. This cat is like a dog. It follows me around. It sits with me everywhere. It listens to me when I call it.
Oh, wow.
I take it outside. It listens to me to come back in.
Yeah.
And me and this cat, this is going to sound odd and fucked up, but me and this cat have an unusual close relationship.
Sort of a kinship.
Sort of a kinship.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, and I'm probably humanizing the cat, I'm thinking like, well, in the eyes of this cat, I'm the only thing the cat has, so it wants to see me all the time, or it misses me all the time, and it's probably going insane and sad because I'm not there.
Right.
And it misses me so, and I miss it so. I just want to go home and be with the cat. I need help.
Not at all.
Thank you,
Not
Jeff.
at all, man.
Thank you very
not
much,
at all.
man.
Now, I'm not like that, but I know people that are. And the fucked up part about this is they're Libras. Not to make that, mean anything, but it means something. Libras act like that. No, seriously, my mom is like the crazy cat lady. Literally the crazy cat lady. She has 40 cats outside of her house and inside of her house. Now, that doesn't make her crazy. She's one of those people that is like, I love my cats more than I love people.
Dude, that was coming to my mind, and sometimes I feel the same way. I'd much rather be with my cat and or family,
right?
Not necessarily,
yeah, yeah,
than with people,
right? Well, that's the thing, though, and
that can't be healthy.
Well, no, it can be healthy. It can be healthy, but the thing is, number one, you can't let it stop you from new experiences.
I agree.
If it does happen and that happens, then yeah, you're probably in trouble. Something's going on and you need to get that figured out or checked out or whatever. The other thing too is, animals can very much be your best friend. If it's a cat, if it's a dog, if it's a parakeet, doesn't matter if it's a goldfish, it can be your best friend. And the thing is, sometimes it's just better to be around those sorts of things. Dog, cat, parakeet, goldfish, whatever. Make sure that they're not the only thing that's going to be in your life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if you go beyond that scope, then there's something else wrong. You probably should, get checked out for that. The main thing, though, is try to make sure that you not all of your life is spent with your cat, with your dog, with whatever, because if you do, then it can start those other problems, and then you have to worry about those things. My mom, quite literally, will not leave her house for extended periods of time. She will not leave to come up here for a day because she's so worried about the cats. That's problematic.
Yeah.
And always make sure that you can differentiate between, oh, I love my cat, and damn, I want the cat to be my only thing. You know what I mean? If you can differentiate between those two things and you say to yourself, man, it's kind of fucked up, I'm just going to go out and get a pizza or something. I'm not taking my cat with me. Then you're all right. I don't think you have any problems. And also, don't ever make the comment, God, I like my animals more than I like people. Because I know for a fact that's not true. Everybody that says that, they make it want to seem like, oh, yeah, I love animals more than, than I love people most of the time.
Tell me that next time you're horny.
Right, exactly, yeah. You going to fuck your cat? Go right ahead.
There's something about the human touch that we all need.
Right, exactly. And whether or not it's even a physical stimulus or if it's a mental stimulus, we still need to have those interactions. Otherwise, you become an introvert and you never leave your house.
You think the physical and mental is the same, or do you think we need both?
I think you need both stimuli. It doesn't have to be at the same time, is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to have somebody, caress you at the same point they're telling you everything's going to be okay. You don't need that. You just need one or the other, usually. I love being caressed. If I go out someplace, I'd love, like, the cashier to just caress me. Come on, caress me. Finesse my penis. Go ahead. Let's do it. Come on.
Do you want to run your fingers through my hair?
Right. Yeah. So that's the only thing. And other than that, I don't think you're crazy. Like I said, a lot of people that are like that.
Well, you think I'm crazy, not as crazy as other people. Because
Right.
I do think maybe there is something wrong in my head.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another time. Tell me about your good buddy Roger Moore that went...
Ooh, yeah, I forgot
Went
about that.
belly up.
Roger Moore usually is considered the third best James Bond by a poll. Yeah, by a poll of current Bondites, people that love watching James Bond.
Who's 1 and 2?
He was polling in number 3.
Coming in at number 3 this week.
Coming in at number 3. Number 1 has always been Sean Connery. There's nobody that can beat Sean Connery for that position.
He's
Nobody.
the original.
Right. He is the James Bond. Everybody knows that. I mean, if you get into Bond enough, and I have watched tons of bondage. Yes. But if you watch it enough, you know that he is the quintessential James Bond. Smooth, suave, very, very misogynistic with the women, but doesn't go too far with it to seem like a complete asshole.
Not a slut.
He gets the pussy. He grabs him by the pussy whenever he needs to.
That was a pretty good Donald Trump imitation.
So he ended up being number 1. Number 2 is Daniel Craig, who stole that from Roger Moore. Roger Moore was number 2 until Daniel Craig became a Bond.
Which one's Daniel Craig?
He's the newest one.
He's the current one.
Yes, yeah, the one that was doing all the movies and stuff.
Okay.
The reason why is because Roger Moore, don't get me wrong, I loved Roger Moore's movies. I've seen every single James Bond movie more than once each. And he was the quintessential comedic James Bond. But what people really wanted, during that time period of the 80s and 90s, he was the comedy side of everything. And the reason why is because people back then, they needed that comedy resolution. They needed shit like Jack Nicholson as Joker. You know what I mean? Saying things like, what the hell did he say? Shit, I totally forgot now.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
He said lots
We're
of
going out a whole new door, and shit like that. And stuff like, this town needs an enema, that kind of stuff. That was the thing that everybody was sort of shooting for back then. They were making it so that they definitely wanted to have more fun with what they were doing, and that's what Roger Moore filled in the Bond theme.
Was Roger Moore the one that was he the equivalent to today's? Well, I guess Roger Moore needs a little more. Oh shit! Damn it!
You want the short one?
I wanted to scream.
Yeah, the short one.
Forget it. Forget that joke.
That's all right. We fucked it up. That's all right. That's good. That's good. We're coming back to it. But no, yeah, Roger Moore was definitely that guy. He was all the comedy James Bond, and that was something that everybody sort of grew away from back when everything started getting serious at the end of the 90s, basically early 2000s. Everything started getting really serious, especially after 9/11. I attribute 9/11 to be that time point in the United States culture where things went from having fun, being fun-loving, doing fun-loving shit, to being really fucking somber, really depressed, really down, really kind of killing yourself over the fact that, we need to be depressed. Great for instance, and this is going to hit perfectly, exactly. Did you ever see a movie called The Mummy?
Maybe.
Brendan Fraser, okay, who was fun guy. He played in the original role of the Mummy, okay, and he had fun with it. There was a lot of funny shit. There was imagine like Indiana Jones, but being comedic almost the whole time. That's basically what the Mummy was, okay. That was in the 90s. Okay? We're now at 2017. They're getting ready to re-release a reboot of The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise. And the whole thing is dead serious.
Tom Cruise doesn't have a funny bone.
He does, but only, way back when. I think he lost it a while
Risky
ago.
Business was probably... Sometimes you just got to say fuck it.
Yeah, sometimes you got to say, what the fuck?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why WTF became a big thing, because of that movie, apparently. But, yeah, they had to reboot The Mummy and make it more serious and make it like now they have monsters that would scare you. If you were that same age, that when you saw the original The Mummy, if you saw these people, like there's one where this woman who is apparently the mummy coming back to life, they show her up close and her eyes, when you see her irises, all of a sudden they split into 4. Yeah, in her eyeball. And you're just like, what the fuck? Totally creepy shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, they had to do that.
Maybe they should have saved it for another movie. And, well, I don't know what to say about those reboot things, man. I quit watching the reboots. I already know what's coming.
Right, exactly.
So why watch another version of the same story?
Yeah, see, that's
when
one of the topics up there, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about that one too.
Okay.
That one, we're of course talking about Ghostbusters. And for a while there, I was like, I'm not going to watch it. I will never watch it. Never watch, because there's no need to, no reason to. And then they were like, okay, watch it for free. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll watch it. So I sat down and watched it. And to be honest with you, the movie would have been 50 times better if it had just been an extension of the regular Ghostbusters. They did not need to create a whole new reboot for this shit. If they would have just been like, oh, the other guys got too old and they retired and now we're taking over their business.
Exactly.
That little teeny tiny plot point, if you just made that the thing, the movie would have been 50 times better.
Well, I didn't see any of the movie, but you don't like Jenny McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Whoever.
Yeah. No, I like Jenny McCarthy.
Is it Melissa McCarthy?
Yes.
Okay, you don't like her.
No.
Did you see her in Tammy?
I did, and then I stopped watching it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't get me. I didn't like it. I mean, I was, I don't know.
Oh, Tammy is one of the movies I wanted to see.
She is what I'd like to call, okay, she was really good in Gilmore Girls, which was, a TV show that was on for a while, and that's where she got her start, really. She was pretty good in that. But then, every other thing beyond that was like she tried to become the new Roseanne Barr.
That was her mistake.
Right. And that's what kills me every fucking time. It's like, I've seen Roseanne. I don't need to have this person in my life. There's no need for it. Oh, which, by the way, Roseanne's coming back out on the air.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to redo that one. Anyway, Melissa McCarthy. But, dude, I didn't even walk into it like that. I walked into it like, let's just see what this is about. Open mind.
Open-minded.
Open-minded. And I got to say, the movie wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
Are you talking Tammy or are you talking...
No, Ghostbusters.
But
the new one. Yeah, the new Ghostbusters. If they had, like I said, if they would have just created that plot point... Because here's the thing that's fucked up. Every single actor that was in the original Ghostbusters was in this movie. Every single one of them, except for Ivan Reitman, because he's dead. Or... Is it Ivan Reitman? Yeah. Igor, yeah. He's dead. That's the only person that wasn't in it. And every single person had a cameo.
Bill Murray was in it?
Bill Murray was in it. And he was in it the longest.
Dan Aykroyd was in it?
Dan Aykroyd was in it as a cab driver. Yeah. Ernie Hudson turned out to play Leslie Jones's uncle.
Which one's Ernie Hudson?
The black guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I seen shit that'll turn you white. That black guy, yeah. That was fucking classic. But that's the thing, man. And I don't know why they even had to do that. It really kind of pisses me off. It just,
Tell him about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You can make a whole movie out of clips from other movies. Oh my God.
Do a whole show and nothing but clips from other movies.
I'm going to get a huge migraine.
Sorry, you don't mind the pot, do you? I get migraines.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Me
fine.
too.
Yeah, I'm going to get a huge migraine in the parking lot in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't suggest it for Gen Xers to go and watch Ghostbusters if you ever grew up on the original Ghostbusters, even the cartoon, which is really fucked up because they took shit from the cartoon and put it into this movie, which I was just like, yeah, the Ghostbusters cartoon is where Slimer really got his origins. Came up in that cartoon, and then he ended up showing up in Ghostbusters 2, but then.
Wait a minute, Slimer was in the first movie.
He was in. No, I think he was only in the second one. I'm pretty sure he was only in the second one.
No, he's the one that I've been slimed.
Is it? No, I think that was a different one, wasn't it?
No, that's the first one.
Is it?
Weird.
I don't know. I mean, that's. I thought that scene was a different ghost. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, because I remember Slimer in the second. I thought it was the second one where he was jamming shit into his mouth and like.
Didn't Slimer talk in the cartoon?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, high pitched voice. Yeah, and you were just like, oh my god.
And he was their friend.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You got it. Yes, and they had to bring him back for this one. He even made a cameo in this one. Just fucks me up, man. It's like. And then at the end of the movie, and I'm going to give it away because you're probably not going to watch it, but
probably
at the end of the movie, they say they're sitting there checking. It's one of those little clips that they show after the title credits have rolled, and they're starting to get into regular credits like the old shitty ones. They showed this little clip, and they're all standing in their little office or whatever, and the one girl's listening for EVPs, which is audio. And if you can hear an EVP, then, and she goes, I can't believe I heard that, or something like that. And then they're like, what? And she goes, have you guys ever heard of something called Zool? Zool's the one from the original Ghostbusters. I
thought it was Zeus.
No, Zool.
Zool, okay.
Z-U-U-L. Yeah, Zool was the one that's Zool. The gatekeeper and the.
Somebody asks you if you are the gatekeeper, you say yes.
Dude, and that's the thing, man. The original Ghostbusters was so iconic. People try to say will try to say to me, "Hey, man, you got to expect that your love for the old show is going to be there, and that's what's overriding your desire to like this show."
No bullshit.
It's
Rogue
not.
One.
Right.
The Force Awakens.
Right. Exactly.
So,
good movies. And they played off the same one or same concepts, but
and you have to admit, you or anybody else have to admit, as a general rule, the reboots aren't as good as the first one.
Correct.
The second and thirds are not as good as the first.
Right. Exactly. But there are times where I can see where I am nostalgic. Like, I want to pay attention to those ones that are back there. A great example is Tim Burton's Batman. I'm a huge fan of that movie with Jack Nicholson playing the Joker.
Okay.
Huge fan of that movie. And then the new Christian Bale fucking Inception boy came out and brought that, shit to the front. And I hated it. I thought it was horrible.
I just got done saying I don't like reboots and I don't watch them. But the Batman series, with the exception of this new ass crack Affleck shit, I don't watch. But I've watched Batman Begins,
right?
The Dark Knight Rises,
right?
And I love him.
Right.
I can't get enough Batman. He must be my superhero.
No, that's the thing. I mean, it depends on how much. I think it depends on how much of the stuff in the past you actually watched. If you sat down and watched those movies numerous times, and that was one of your favorite movies at one point in time.
Well, I did watch the Jack Nicholson one a lot.
Yeah, I remember.
And I did see quite a bit of the old '60s show.
Right. Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
I saw the other movies like when Danny DeVito was the Penguin.
Right.
Saw that one.
Right.
And
Mr. Freeze. Did you see that one?
Is that Val Kilmer?
No. No, I think that was George Clooney. I think.
Who did Val Kilmer play?
He played Batman, but he played Batman for, I think he was the second one.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So,
well, then who was the Riddler?
Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's right. Gee whiz.
Yeah. Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Why
the fuck am I so fat?
What were you saying earlier about the Ghostbusters and their EP? What EPV?
EVP.
What is that?
Where they were listening. They had been recording with an audio device while the ghosts were running around town and stuff.
Okay.
And they started listening to that audio back, and then they were like, "Who the hell is this Zool?" It was a throwback to the original Ghostbusters. But, right. So they did it because they thought, oh, man, we're going to have a sequel. We're going to be able to see Zool.
No, you're not.
No, exactly. Because it's not going to fucking happen.
I think I have a little bit of footage of that what do you call it?
EVP.
EVP?
Yeah.
What's it stand for?
Electro voice projection or electromagnetic voice projection or something like that.
I think I have a little bit of it here where we were ghost hunting one time.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah,
there it is. Yes.
We caught you, ghost.
The ghost is shitting all over everything.
The ghost shit.
That's right. What is so great to be stupid?
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
Gotta love him. Why make trillions when we can make billions? Yeah. So, that's one thing that I had listed on there was talk about the movies and stuff.
Poor Mr. Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I hope he does because he was, like I said, he was a good guy. It's just, I just think he didn't bring the juice to become James Bond. He was good, but he wasn't the best.
Well, did he get fired or did he quit?
No, they usually quit.
They usually quit?
They usually sign a deal for like 3 or 5 movies, and then they do those 3 or 5 movies, and at that point, because a lot of them do their own stunts, like Daniel Craig does almost all his own stunts. The first movie that he did, Casino Royale, okay, I shit you not, the first fight scene in the movie, he breaks 2 teeth. Broke in real life because he hit the porcelain and it busted his teeth out. And he had to go to the dentist in an emergency to get these teeth put back in. I'm like...
Yeah, we're filming in half an hour, dude.
Right, yeah, but that's the thing, man. It's like, holy fuck, what are they expecting? You know what I mean? It's just, that sounds crazy. And that was the kind of the deal. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I got. Yeah.
Well, hey, man, let's do this here.
Okay.
I have to take a 15-second break.
Okay.
Why don't you roll that commercial with Nature's Glass?
Ooh, how about I roll The Adventures of Letterman, Hazard Duty, or did you want to not play that?
Go ahead. Go for it.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, a little classic break. You had to have watched The Electric Company in order to understand what this is about. It was our good friend Letterman.
The Adventures of Letterman. Hazard Duty. It's a gorgeous day in Hazard County. Bo and Luke Duke are running the General Lee full throttle over to Cooter's garage to pick up some auto parts. What is that over there in that old bush by the old hickory tree? Is that someone in the bushes? Oh no, it's the evil Spellbinder. He is hiding in those bushes under the old hickory tree.
I just hate them Duke boys. I hate that car. I hate this county.
Coming from out of the bushes, the evil Spellbinder waves his magic wand and changes the letter U in the Dukes of Hazzard to a Y, making it the Dykes of Hazzard.
Come on, Bonita. Let's go get our heads changed. Okay, Lucy. And then go buy some wife beaters and wear them and wallets in our back pockets with chains on them. And let's take the General Leanne with us.
Oh no. What happened to Bo and Luke Duke? Will they be Bonita and Lucy Duke and the Dykes of Hazzard forever? Is there no one able to save them? But wait, what is that sound? It's our hero. Faster than a rolling O, stronger than a silent E, able to leap a capital T in a single bound. It's a word, it's a plan, it's Letterman.
Greetings and salutations.
Letterman pulls the U from his varsity sweater, places it over the Y in Dykes of Hazzard, back into the Dukes of Hazzard.
Spoil my fun, will you, Letterman? I will make you pay for this.
And so, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the Letterman has saved the day yet again. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah, now we go.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know, wasn't it though? Oh, I did want to touch on one more thing with Chris Cornell. The thing is, I think he was trying to tickle his Elmo. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, I had to do that one.
You know what? I think we should make it a staple of the Jeff and Dan show to come up with 2 or 3 good
lines,
David Camuso jokes every week.
Sounds fun to me. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, you want to play a game?
Let's play a game.
All right. We are going to play the TV show theme game, where I open up with a clip of a theme song from a TV show
that
has been broadcasted in either the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or the 2000s.
Okay.
And you guess it whenever you're ready.
Okay.
We have 12, and then plus we have 5 bonus ones.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do one first. This is from the 50s. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Okay, you know what really sucks?
What's that?
The fact that, I just can't get, whatever. I screwed that one up. My apologies.
That's all right.
And I'm screwing all of these up.
Why?
So, but, are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Green Acres is the place for me.
Very good. You got that one right.
Living. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
And the wolf huffed and puffed.
You damn son of a bitch, you. Let's skip the ad.
Skip the ad. There we go.
Hey, I'm Jason Varney. I've been helping.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and hooky. They're all together kooky. The Addams Family.
All right, you know that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know this one?
Not that one.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Do you
well,
know
I wonder
it
what
now?
that is.
Consider when considering home security.
Ooh, we got the meats. Ooh, the Love Boat.
Man, I am fucking up this right
That's
now.
all right, man. Doesn't matter.
What did I do the last time? It was so perfect.
I don't know. Did you put them in the folder?
Yeah.
Love and love, exciting and new.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Come on board. Ooh. Sounds like fun to me.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
All right.
Now we're moving to the 70s. Are you ready?
Yes. Taxi.
You son of a bitch. You got that. I only gave you like 3 notes of that damn thing.
Yeah. I hated that show. I don't know why, dude. I went back as an adult and watched it, and I'm like, why the fuck did I hate this show?
Anyways.
It's a great show. I don't know.
Maybe you were like me, because I remember when it was on when I was a kid.
Right.
I didn't understand it.
Right.
Sometime in the 80s, I went back and laughed my ass off.
Right,
at
exactly, because there's a lot of innuendos, and when you're younger, you don't get that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Here's your next one.
Okay. Okay, maybe not.
Well, I'm not the kind to
Kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on fire over Sunny Field, blown up full of Rocco Welch. Oh, sorry.
But somehow they just don't end up as mine.
Ooh, the stunt man, the Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Yeah, that was a great show. I love
You
that
are
one.
pretty freaking good at this. I didn't know if you would get that one or not.
I
mean,
really love Heather Thomas. She was so fucking fun when she was younger. I don't know what she looks like now, but man, she was beautiful when she was there. I used to have her poster, full-size poster of her in a bikini above my bed. Oh, God. No. I mean, not on the ceiling, but like, right above my bed.
Oh.
So people would know, yeah. Like in the wall, yeah. See?
Here's your next one. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Yep.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means.
He's a man or beast.
They got nothing.
He is. He got different strokes. Yeah, different strokes. What are you talking about, Willis? Now this is a life. This is a tale.
Man,
Yeah.
damn, you pissed me off. Man.
Yeah. This is a tale.
Now this is a story
Yeah.
all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know that one. Well, you
Yes.
did.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't think you will get this one because I don't
Okay.
think you were quite a fan. But
Okay.
nonetheless.
To be over. Correct. I am not a fan of Dawson's Creek. Not at all. I wasn't, dude. I'm One Tree Hill, all that shit. I was a family of 5. I don't give a fuck.
Did you
I don't care
like-
if you're a family of 2. I'll take the other 3 out if I have to. What?
Did you like
There we go. We're done.
what was that show about a radio station DJ up in wilderness of Alaska?
Radio station DJ.
He's like a hippie guy, and he did the radio for the small town.
Twin
Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
No,
it wasn't Twin Peaks. I know what you're talking about, and I can see the guy in my head. I just can't think of what show it was.
Oh well. Anyways,
yeah, it was like the guy from Scrubs. He looked like the guy from Scrubs.
I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big. You're not the boss of me now.
Yes, I am not the boss of Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I think you only got one wrong.
Yeah, well, I think I gave up on it. Keep going. What do we got? What do we got? Okay.
Oh, I kind of sort of messed this up. Fuck it. We'll go on to the next one.
All right.
Okay, here we are. We're. You know what? I have to say something. I practiced for this show this week.
Okay.
I did not practice this.
Okay.
So now I see where I have to practice.
Well, what we need to do is get you to figure out how to add stuff to the fart machine.
And that way I can just do it like that
Right.
without you seeing it instead of this way?
Exactly.
All right. Well, here's our bonus section.
Okay.
Here are 5 very popular game show themes.
Okay.
And you try to guess what these are.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
The Price is Right is brought to you by Bill Dodson, Todd Goodman Productions. Yeah. The
No.
price is wrong, bitch.
Okay, how about this one?
The Newlywed Game. No?
Nope.
The dating game. No, it's not that.
Dating game.
Is it the dating game?
It's the dating game.
I had to wait till the end, that's why. So I missed that one.
Okay. Three of our contestants.
The Newlywed Game. Did I jump back in? I did it. Oh, man, out of order. That's fucked up.
That's okay.
That's a great tune.
That's okay. Yeah, that is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you get this one.
Okay.
And hopefully I didn't use the UK version. Have you ever heard of Who Wants to Be a
Millionaire?
Milfionaire?
Milfionaire. That's older women who like to get fucked. I mean, a lot of, cash. That's all, folks.
Last one. Are you ready? You may not get this one. I don't know if you watch this one or not.
Okay.
You may not get this one. Next on NBC. Two couples trounce through the jungles down in South America.
On NBC? Yeah, I don't know that one.
Well, I don't know if I did the right network.
Yeah.
That was from The Amazing Race.
Amazing Race.
The Amazing Race.
Amazing Race. How sweet white people are.
I was going to say, when I first heard the show The Amazing Race, I thought, the black people and the Chinks are going to be really upset over this. Yeah, so I was wrong.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll go back and say that over again. Yes. Okay. The Jeff and Dan Show has been
3, 2, 1.
Obliterated. Yes, we're Razor. What can we say? It's a big fucking nuclear bomb, y'all. Speaking of nuclear bombs.
Nuclear.
Does the idea of North Korea, do you find that threatening at all?
Not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
They've
been popping off.
Oh.
Excuse me.
You'll smell fresh.
Nick John Unn's just trying to get a hold of me. He just texted me.
Oh,
right
is
now.
that what it is?
Please mention me on your show tonight. Okay.
Oh, come on, man.
Un or ill?
Ill.
I forget.
Yeah,
well, I have a very good, amazing cell phone plan. I have the ability to talk to the dead with it.
Nice.
Yeah, thank God for Sprint, but I'm paying a lot for it. They've been popping off at the mouth for years now, and what seems to quiet them is food. Just send them a truckload or two of food.
Oh, yeah?
And that's what Bush did.
Huh.
And I'm pretty sure it's probably what Clinton did, Bush and Reagan before him.
Yeah, I don't know. What they've been doing, it sounds to me like you might be accurate on that. I'm not saying that it's just food. It's probably all kinds of different things.
Food,
medicines,
fuel,
shit like that, right?
Tostitos.
We're giving you these fucking loaded nachos, loaded Doritos, because nobody wants to eat them at fucking Taco Bell. So here you go, stale fucking Doritos. Yeah.
Why no napkin?
I'm just worried because, we might end up having to worry about that shit happening.
Ooh, that gives me chills, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
See, that's problematic. And the thing is, in our little town, it doesn't. It happens quite frequently, so we wouldn't have an air raid specifically for that.
Specifically for the air raid sirens of a nuclear attack,
right?
At least 5 minutes, and that's a long time.
Yeah,
right around 3 minute mark, you should be going. I don't think that's a normal fire alarm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So a nuclear attack, it's a 5 minute long. For 5 minutes, and again, like around 3 minutes, you're going to say
that's something wrong.
Something not right.
Yeah.
And
that's scary as shit, though, man.
Let me tell you something. I got freaked out one day. I worked near TMI,
right,
which is about ready to go under now.
Yeah, I heard.
A Pennsylvania landmark.
And what's fucked up is Dave Marcheski, who used to be on WHTM, is now their official spokesperson. And I saw him on WGAL tonight, and I'm like, holy shit! he jumped off the fucking. He's not being a reporter anymore, and he's over there working for the nuclear, for 3 Mile Island.
He's going to be out of a job here in 6 months.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Or no way. I don't think those contracts kick in until 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, but still, they're trying to find everything that they possibly can, any way that they possibly can to make money.
I'll tell you how to make money right now.
What is that?
Disassemble the cooling towers.
Yeah.
And sell pieces it for a couple bucks. Hey, you want a piece of TMI? Certified piece of TMI? I bet you we can get a lot of collectors and they give us a couple bucks for.
Hell yeah. You can use it in a tent. That shit glows all night.
It's good for making beans when you're camping.
Exactly.
No, I was working near TMI.
Okay.
And the first time it got me, The only time it got me was Test the Sirens Day.
Oh.
And they were blowing and blowing, and I knew the 5-minute rule.
Right.
And I was beginning to think, oh, fuck, is this...
Real?
What's going on?
I'm in the 20-mile blast radius. Fuck. Yeah.
But it was just test day. I don't know how I ever found out, but yeah, I remember being freaked out for just a little bit.
I would be, yeah.
Thinking, is this the real deal here? But yeah, North Korea does not bother me.
It doesn't. But they're creating a longer range missile. Did you hear about the one that they shot off the last week, I think?
That could reach Hawaii?
No. It was an intercontinental ballistic missile. They shot it, and it went 1,275 miles into the air. 1,275 miles. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's outer space.
I know. That's exactly how intercontinental ballistic missiles work. You shoot it up there, it waits, it turns, and goes back down. It's basically just waiting for the Earth to spin. As soon as that happens, it goes right back down and blows shit up. But it went more than 1,000 miles past the International Space Station. The International Space Station is like 225 miles or something like that above the Earth. And that shit went 1,200 miles. I'm like, that's fucked up. Because now that they have that kind of stuff going on, man, if they figure out how to retract back into the Earth, because these are built basically on Scud missiles, from what I'm to understand. You remember Scud missiles?
Oh, yeah.
Iraqis, they used those during the fucking war. They jet out of the back of their trunk, fire the bitch, throw the fucking thing back in their trunk, drive home, and watch CNN to find out where it landed.
I think in the entire history of the Scud missiles, with that Saddam Hussein, I think in the entire history of it only killed like 2 people.
Yeah. Well, that's because we had that Patriot defense system. And that's the thing that worries me, because ICBMs are not easy to track. Once they get above the satellite periphery, that's it. You can't track them anymore. So they're going to lose sight of where those things are going, and then on their return is the only time we're going to know. And guess what? Their return's faster than they're going out.
Solutions?
The only solution I can think of would have been the Star Wars program, which was what Reagan was pushing for the whole time. And we have bits and pieces of the Star Wars program in place, but we don't have the whole thing. And one of those whole things was being able to shoot shit out of the sky by having, satellites that looked everywhere.
I have another solution,
Okay.
but nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to go and take an evil dictator out because...
Right. Yeah, because then you're going to cause more... Here's the thinking behind that. Let me give you an example. Kim Jong-un comes out of his house, and we thwart his ass with a Tomahawk missile. Just blow him off the fucking face of the earth, okay? 65 commanders-in-chief of the North Korean army are now going to go, we need somebody to take his place. Not only is that person going to be ruthless, that person's going to be anti-American big time. And he's going to be able to get the troops and everybody involved thinking that they hate the United States. And that propaganda wagon that's fucking happening, it's already happening right now. I know for a fact Kim Jong-un is over there saying shit to people like, the Americans are nothing but, assholes. And,
He told his people, and his people believe him, that he invented the hamburger in 2009.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you have to feel bad for those people because they don't know.
Right.
I know you guys have never really eaten a whole lot before, but you never heard of a hamburger back in 1997?
Exactly.
McDonald's. What do you think McDonald's serves?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea why people have never had the chance to say, and if you say anything against him, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. They will literally pull you out of your house and kill you.
And their news, their sports, it's always North Korea defeated Japan today. North Korea defeated Japan today. North Korea defeated the United States in volleyball 15-0, 15-0, 15-0.
Right, exactly.
And their people were believing it.
It's propaganda. Oh, our country's great.
It seems they're hungry, so I can't see how possibly they'd be strong at all.
It seems to me that there is a lack of believability from our side as to what he might be telling his people or what's coming out in the news there, just like you said. And they're being fed bullshit facts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the case. They don't have the same systems in place that we do. But as of right now, there's nothing we can do, and we're almost in the same situation. President Trump goes off and says all this stuff, and, Michael Flynn with Comey, all these people, and he's just literally throwing shit their way. He threw shade on fucking Comey and said, go, don't do anything else with this Russian investigation. Now, of course, that's all hearsay. Of course, it's going to be. Comey's going to have to come right out and say exactly what he said to get him to stop doing it. And saying about
I
being,
trust him. Oh, yeah.
But like being a loyalist. Well, that's the thing. He has no reason to lie.
Well,
he's always been on the side of the president. And to be fired and removed from office sucks.
Whose side was he on with the Hillary investigation?
Well, that's the thing. If you think about it, and a lot of people do agree, that his investigation of that is the reason why Hillary didn't win. Because he opened up 11 days before the election cycle.
No, I personally don't believe. I just think Donald Trump out-campaigned her.
No, I don't think that's even possible.
6-1. Six stops every day to her one.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
How else can you possibly pull off Pennsylvania?
He had limited offices nationwide, right?
Yeah.
And that he didn't do a lot of campaign stops in other states.
No, but he was in Pennsylvania several times.
Right.
Hillary only did one a day.
Yeah.
And if Trump's doing 4 or 6 a day,
depending on where he's
generating
going,
that excitement.
Depending on where he's going, but dude, you gotta believe that Comey bringing that shit up 11 days before the presidential election had a lot to do with it.
Why did he?
Because it was something that needed to be done.
No, he should have done it months before.
He should have. And
he should have done it months before.
And he did. If you go back and read all the stuff from before that, he did do the investigations. It's just that these new allegations came forward and he had to investigate. Now, you would think, because I'm a supporter of anybody but Trump, that I would say something to the effect of different than that. I would be like, well, he fucked up and did all this shit. That's not true. He did all this stuff because that's his job. That's what he had to do. But the fact of the matter was he blew it kind of out of proportion. He made it seem like, oh, well, we might be able to arrest her on all this stuff. And that's what happened. They said, there was tons and tons of people. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason why Donald Trump won. It's not. It's really not.
Do you trust the FBI?
No.
Do you trust the CIA?
No.
Do you trust the NSA?
No.
Do you trust the Republican Party?
No.
Do you trust the Democrat Party?
No. I don't trust anybody.
Okay, there you go.
That's the thing.
That's my bottom line there.
Okay.
I don't believe a fucking word CIA says.
Right.
The NSA, none of them. None of them anymore.
Unless it's something that they're saying that isn't on the record. Then I'll believe them. If somebody comes to and says, oh man, the CIA just told the FBI that they're going into this country and getting this person, yeah, I'm going to believe that. I am going to believe that.
The CIA just told the FBI they're getting CNN and HBO for free.
Then I'm going to believe that. I'm going to be like, dude, I need to be on the CIA so I can get this shit for free. But that's the thing, man. I think that was one of the big problems in the fact that Hillary Clinton... Dude, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. I think there were just too many things that were going against her at that point in time. Because if you think about this for a second, President Trump, leading all the way up to the fact that he got elected, lied quite a bit. Or denied quite a bit, either one. Hillary Clinton got railroaded for emails.
No, I don't think it was just her emails. Dude, you're a tech geek yourself.
Sure.
If you put a server in your house,
yeah,
it's going to get fucking hacked.
Maybe.
Why do you have a server in your house?
You could, because her husband had it from back in his days. When
he doesn't have an email account. Well, he doesn't use email.
Well, initially he did, and that's where the server came from. And it was an older server, and that's a big complaint.
That's worse.
Right, that was the big complaint. But the thing is she had it grounded so that it was secured.
There's no damn reason why I should have been in her house at all. What was it doing in her house?
Well, because their foundation was there.
It don't matter to me. It's government. Well, you know what? That's right. Government property doesn't belong to the people anymore. What am I fucking thinking?
It wasn't government property at that point. They were private citizens, and they were allowed to have it. Even when she was a senator, it was still Bill's email server, apparently.
And why did she delete 30,000 emails?
Because she was told it was okay to do so. That's what the word is. That's what they're saying. They're saying she was told that these emails didn't add up to anything. And the FBI, they went in and checked on the emails. That's who told her she could get rid of them. And initially, it was the 30,000 emails that were sent through Anthony Weiner's
There we go.
account and went to his wife. And that was the other part of this whole thing. But that's the thing. We're talking about the difference between a woman's emails, which she has already come forward and said, yeah, I fucked up. But no, at first she didn't. And that's what I think made her lose the election, because she didn't come forward and just say, you know what, I screwed up. I really did. And I'm sorry, But to be honest, none of these emails, she didn't say that. She didn't go into that fucking thing. She was just like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Which put off.
She thought she won it already. She thought she won it in August.
It pushed off the whole thing. But here's the thing. Okay, I want you to take that comment, that idea that she pushed forward, and I want to take this other comment over here on the right side, which is your right side. This comment of, I could go out to Fifth Avenue right now and shoot somebody and I'd still win this election. Dude, I'm serious. Take that comment and this thing over here with the emails and the I could kill somebody thing. They're totally different situations, but the heinousness of this one is fucking hardcore.
Dude, I would say something like that.
Well, you and I would say something like that, but we're talking about like presidential candidate, man. Somebody for president. And you know what?
If they're just using it as an example, what's he supposed to say? I could go out and shoot basketballs all day.
Right. Yeah, but that's the thing. It wasn't that. He was saying that. And then he was like, well, somebody could go out and shoot my the person I'm running against. I've got no issues with that. I couldn't do anything about it. He literally said that more than once in his campaigns. If somebody went out and shot Hillary Clinton right now, he'd be like, shit, fuck it. And I was just like, how come nobody says anything about this shit? You know what I mean? Nobody did anything about it because everybody thought it was hyperbole. They thought it was bullshit, that he was just saying stuff to say stuff, just to be cool. Dude, I took it serious.
He is an entertainer. Just like all you people want to just...
I will admit something. It is slightly refreshing that he is different from other people.
That he's not a politician?
Right. Well, no, just different than other people. Literally, dude, that guy is weirder than most millionaires. Seriously, he is. I have never seen a millionaire. If you've ever seen I'm sure you probably haven't, but if you've ever seen an interview with Warren Buffett,
no,
one of the richest men in the world, that guy is so straightforward, right on mark, does not say dumb shit, and uses big words. Donald Trump, dude, you compare the two of them, even Warren Buffett was like, this guy's fucking crazy. And nobody paid attention to that. Nobody cared. I will admit, it is refreshing that it's different than what a president has been. But I promise you that very soon, things are going to get real fucked up. And I don't want to see that happen because I love my country.
I don't
but
think
I think this is something that has to happen.
I don't think it will.
You don't think anything's going to come from it?
I don't think that's the end of the world.
Right. No. I don't think that. I think, if anything, Trump's mouth's going to get him into trouble because he's going to write a check that he can't cash. And if that's the case, then it's problematic. Then it's at that point is where I think we divide, and everybody who was ever in favor of Trump's going to make a change. They're either going to change because they're going to truly love what kind of person he is and stay that rightist as far as possible, or they're going to say, this guy's fucking crazy. And some of the shit he says, he is really fucked up.
I don't think he's crazy. I think he's
showmanship, showboating.
Yeah, a little bit like that, and showmanship / triangulator, which is what the Clintons did. Which some people say, "Oh, that's terrible. That's a bad thing to be a triangulator." I don't think so. If you're a politician,
yeah,
the triangulating is such a bad thing. You take a position based on the position of your voters. 60% of your voters are against white ice cream trucks.
Okay.
Well, so am I against white ice cream trucks.
Yeah.
Well, good. You're reflecting what the voters put you in there for, to get rid of white ice cream trucks.
Right. I believe, yeah. I can see that.
But now, if you're triangulating... how can I say this? Just to get more votes... when you don't really care about ice cream trucks.
Right. That's a demagogue.
That's a demagogue.
Yes, and that's exactly what everybody said Trump is. If you read the definition of demagogue, it really is kind of what he said. Because here's the thing. He said, in my first 100 days, I will accomplish these things. He accomplished one out of 32 items. Okay? One thing out of 32 things. And then his quote on this was, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Dude, to go from being a sort of decent businessman, sort of decent, only because he's been sued so many times and has all these fraud things on him now, going from that to being the president of the fucking United States is something that is going to impact your life. It's not like, hey, man, I'm on the Jeff and Dan show, and I'm going to go in and become president of the United States, and I figure it's probably going to be a little less or a little about the same of what I do now for the Jeff and Dan show. It's not that way. You know what I mean?
Barack did it.
Anybody could have done it. Barack had his own TV show. He had his own radio show, too. Every president has their own radio show. Didn't you know that?
Well, I know they talk on the radio.
Yeah.
They give addresses on the radio pretty regularly. But did he really have his own TV show?
He had it wasn't specifically Barack Obama's TV show, but he did have something where he was on TV quite a bit. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. It was like the McLerner Hour or whatever on PBS, some shit like that, where it was like a regular forum for him to sit down and talk about shit. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I know that when you walk into becoming president of the United States, things are going to get rough. Things are going to get really rough because they always do for every single president that's ever walked in. You know what scandal he was actually, Barack Obama was fighting in his 120th day or whatever? The biggest scandal that he had was...
What?
Oh, shit, I forgot what it was. Damn it. Hannity went off about it. And he was like, oh, Barack Obama's scandals, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it was something stupid, like the color of his shoes or the flavor of ice cream. You're like, ooh, sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. She's sending you some. Yeah, you got a message. Okay. Yeah, but no, that's the thing. And I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we've seen happen when Barack Obama was president. We saw happen or seeing happen now with Trump being president. To be honest with you, he keeps writing executive orders that all keep getting turned down.
How can they get turned down?
The judges stop them.
Oh.
Yeah, he writes them into order, and then they put a restraint against them, so they can't, enforce the orders. One of those was the Muslim ban. The one he was all, oh yeah, I'm gonna ban Muslims.
Either one should piss you off.
Well,
either
yeah.
action should piss you off.
Yeah, but they both
the judges and the president.
Right.
Writing those executive orders is making law with no consideration for any of the process.
Right.
And every president is guilty of it.
No checks and balances.
Judge coming along and overthrowing that executive order is legislation from the bench.
Yes. I'll agree with that. And I am pissed off about both of them. But here's where my thought process goes in a line. It's linear. If he would have never wrote it, we would have never had to deal with this shit. See what I'm saying? You don't start something...
You expect him not to?
I don't know. I don't know that I'd expect him not to. But here's the thing I'm looking at. President Trump tells us he's going to do all this stuff. He doesn't sit down with anybody of importance and says to them, hey, man, can I do this? Not once has he done that. He's written 45 or something executive orders now, which is more than almost any president ever. And he walks in and he says, I'm going to do this, and I don't care what anybody says. He doesn't get anybody's backing on it. He doesn't say, hey, man, come here and talk to me about, whether or not I can do this or not. No, he just walks in, signs the thing, and then sends it out to get fucked up. As if he's waiting for somebody to miss it sometime. You know what I mean? He'd be like, yeah, we're going to execute all the black people, and I'm going to put it right here into this executive order. Oh, look, they didn't flag it. Okay, start killing them all. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me, If he had not been that kind of crazy about his executive orders, I think if he'd have gone through a Republican-fronted government, Congress especially, I think he would have gotten away with a lot more. But get them to do the verbiage, get them to do the wording of how this thing's going to get done. Just like he came up with this budget on his own, dude, cutting $800 billion out of the Medicaid bill, which now affects my children.
I got some stats for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
This is Wikipedia.
Okay. Well, I can't always trust Wikipedia.
Yes, I agree, but it at least gives you a flavor for it. List of United States federal executive orders by president.
Okay.
Donald Trump, to date, 36.
Only 36? I thought it was 45.
Iraq. Oh, Barack Obama, 276.
That's throughout his whole career.
George
That's
Bush, 291.
Okay, so Bush wrote more.
Bill Clinton, 364.
Oh, wow.
H.W. Bush, 166.
No, he didn't write many, but he only had a 4-year term.
Reagan, 381.
Wow. Reagan was up there, too.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, 3,728.
What?
Calvin Coolidge, 1,203. Woodrow Wilson, 1,803. Theodore Roosevelt, 1,081. Ulysses S. Grant, 217.
Oh, that's not bad.
Thomas Jefferson, 4. John Adams, 1. George Washington, 8.
What happened to Carter and Ford? I didn't hear you say those.
I didn't say them. Carter, 320.
Okay.
4 years,
4
not
years,
bad.
yeah.
Ford, 169.
Well, that's about half of that.
Nixon was 346. Ford, he was only in office for 2 years.
Right, yeah, because of the impeachment of Nixon.
Yeah.
Which is the only time anybody has ever really kind of did anything about an impeachment, because he turned around and retired or resigned. So, yeah.
Well, to me, that says you're guilty. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, he's dead.
Well, that's the thing.
Water under the bridge.
It's water under the gate. Well, it goes to show you, dude, that there have been times where people have enacted these things, these, executive orders over time. The worrisome part about that is, okay, the numbers are great, right? The numbers are big for those presidents. But if you go back and look at exactly what those executive orders are, they're small things. They're minute stuff. They're stuff that didn't have an angle from the term of Congress, where the president had to enact them in order to prevent problems or things arising.
Pick a president from Franklin D. Roosevelt forward.
Okay. Let's go Nixon.
Nixon wrote establishing the Council for Urban Affairs, establishing the Cabinet Committee on Economic Policy,
okay,
Office of Intergovernment Relations, providing for a special assistant to the president for liaison with former What the fuck?
Yeah, it's little stuff.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's little stuff.
All right, well.
Most executive orders are little stuff.
Okay.
Look at oh shit, I was going to tell you to look at
I just closed it.
Yeah, Bill Clinton's. I was going to tell you to look at Bill Clinton's.
Okay, National Get Your Titties Out Day. National Don't Smoke That Cigar.
Keep that one for me. It's for me.
Sorry, I just couldn't help it.
It's the juices. Yeah.
So.
The thing is, though, if you go to some place, I mean, honestly, I read something today that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
That has never been. It's never happened like this before. The President of the United States has a love-hate relationship. You either love him,
I agree,
or you hate him.
More so now than ever before.
Right, you love him or you hate him.
Yeah.
And the thing is both sides are encamped on that theory.
Absolutely.
Nobody's willing to change their mind.
And it doesn't matter. I was thinking about this today. If you and I were to run against each other, one of us would win.
Mm-hmm.
We'd probably vote for each other.
Yeah.
But the people who love Barack Obama are going to love either you or me.
Right.
And think the other one is a complete asshole jerk.
Right.
And they're going to say shit and say shit and say shit. Most of it probably wouldn't even be true.
Right.
And it's going to be the same side.
Yeah.
The people,
same on the other side.
The people who love Trump, you know what I mean.
Right.
And we're not going to get anywhere.
Right. That's the thing. And that's the reason why we need to sort of open up that line of discussion.
I think we're going to be stalemated for a couple of years, and I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing.
Yeah, but I see it as a bad thing. I see it as a really bad thing. The reason being is because we're not functioning. We're not getting anywhere.
That's fine with me.
I'd really like to, though.
They fuck up everything.
That's the thing.
They fuck up everything.
I have.
So just let them keep on fucking up everything.
I have a great example. I came up with this example, and I wanted to run it by you and see what you thought.
All right,
and I'll bring it up. Okay.
Okay.
You've heard of the FCC.
Yes.
The Federal Communications Commission. Now, they are doing things like being in control, supposedly. They create guidelines for companies and stuff to follow, usually anything that's projected. Television, radio, so on and so forth. Okay, they want to control all of television. Okay, so they want to have the ability to say, you can't say this, you can't say that. And they have. They've levied hefty fines in the process of doing it. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, wants to be able to strip them of those powers. Okay, they want to keep the FCC under wraps. They don't want people to be like, oh, well, you know, we can infringe upon your rights because you did this, this, or that. Okay, so the ACLU wants to fight the FCC in order to take away their powers. Republicans vow to reduce government. That's one of our biggest staples. It always has been.
And they never do.
They
right. Just grow it and grow it.
Right. So they vowed to reduce the government, but apparently they hate the ACLU.
Yes, they do.
So explain to me how that works.
I don't know. I used to not like the ACLU either.
Right.
Then I started looking into them, and they're kind of like a love-hate relationship, too. I love half of what they're doing,
right.
And the other half, I'm thinking, well, you guys are complete morons.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing. They protect you from...
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
That's what they do.
Yes.
They protect you in situations where the police have gone too far. That is a non-Republican thing. I mean, no Republican should stand behind that. We should be standing behind the police, not anybody else. Because they are what controls the world. If we didn't have that...
The police control the world?
No. The government controls the world, basically,
okay.
But the police are part of the government.
Right.
They are the controlling vested interest in protecting you from other people while maintaining the laws. So that's the reason why Republicans have a thing for the police. They like to have police because of that. But here we want to be able to reduce government and all those functions thereof. Here's my example. A good example, actually. Donald Trump wants to, in his budget, remove over the next 4 years, I think, wants to remove $800 billion from Medicare. Okay.
Good luck.
I'm sorry, not Medicare.
Good luck.
Medicaid, yes. And it's been struck down in Congress. But his thinking behind this is he wants to get rid of that hardship that the government has to pay for and push it off onto the states. Now, that's the Republican way of thinking. Push things to the states and allow the states to do their own stuff. Let's stop having so much regulation. Let's stop having so much oversight. I agree. I totally fucking agree. But when you're taking healthcare away from my kids, then I don't agree. Then I'm a little bit more than pissed. Because now you've fucking done that shit. You know, I would totally understand if the government was like, well, we're not going to, oversee all this shit, but we're just going to send money over there. You don't hear about Donald Trump saying, hey, we're not going to support Zimbabwe, and we're not going to support Somalia, and we're not going to support Iraq or Afghanistan or any of these places. We're not sending them money anymore. You don't hear him fucking say that. Dude, if we took that off the measure, that would be the $800 billion right there. Do it all for the country. You know what I mean? Take that money back. Just be like, hey, we promised it to you, but now we're not going to. You guys deal with your own shit. Let's do our infrastructure.
I'm not going to get into it with Medicaid because I really don't know what I'm talking about with that. But I can guarantee you there is a tremendous amount of waste in that program.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but when somebody pays my bills for me, they kind of think they own me and can tell me what to do.
You're right.
And I kind of feel obliged in thinking they're right.
Right. Well,
please don't pay my bills for me. I'll take care of my own medical issues.
I will agree with you on this because I lived it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Great, for instance, at one point, my wife and I were very poor. We didn't have any money. It was the change of the millennium, basically. We didn't have any money. We were just like, what are we going to do? We were scrounging to fucking eat. We got rental assistance for 6 months for them to help pay for that until I could get back on my feet, which I did. I went and got a job, and eventually everything calmed down and cooled out. But the fact of the matter was we had to rely on that assistance, and it was great that it was there, okay? I wasn't about to rely on it, though. I felt embarrassed the whole time.
I was going to say, did you feel like a welfare?
I did, and I felt like it was embarrassing. And, that I understand, okay? Most people, you're in an entitlement situation. They think, oh, well, I'm entitled to this. I'm going to take advantage of it. and they're not going to go get a job. They're not blah, blah, blah. No, and I'm not like that. I've never been like that. I refused to get unemployment at one point in time here recently where I just said, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try and get another job or do something.
Miraculously, I have a different view on it.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. We were on the rental assistance program, okay? In order to qualify for it, they had to come and inspect our apartment.
When you pay somebody else's bills for them.
Right. They came to our house, went through our house with a fine-tooth comb, found 10, 15 things wrong, and we had to fix all of them. And our landlord had to fix them. That was the part of it that we were just like, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. Because now this shit is going to happen, every 3 months. And I'm like, dude, I don't want this happening. Oh, no, I think it was every 6 months because we fell into it twice. The second time we were like, we're done with this. I'm going to get a job. Things are going to happen. And we did. And that's the thing. That's why I agree with you on that. I think that's bullshit if somebody would own you in that kind of situation. And that's basically what it comes down to. They own you. You have to do what they say to do. Otherwise, you don't qualify for that
or
shit.
Or you're
anymore.
out in the cold, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's wrong, to be honest with you. I think it's absolutely 100% wrong. I think, I can see why they're trying to make it so that, it's a little bit harder to be on it. But, I think honestly that it should only be a maximum 1 year thing. It's TANF, T-A-N-F, which is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. I think there should be a year limit on that. And after the year limit, you have to get off the program, at least for 6 months.
I equate it to feeding the bears.
Okay.
You keep feeding the bears or any other wildlife, they're going to quit hunting.
Right. And they're going to come around all the time.
They're going to be at your doorstep when you go out. Hi, Mr. Kerstetter.
Right.
You got any bread? Or how about give me a couple of bucks? I can out and buy my own. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, we eventually start feeding the people, they quit hunting.
Right. It's just like it says in the Bible. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Isn't that in the Bible?
No.
Oh, what's it in? I thought that was.
I've heard it before.
I thought Jesus said that to Peter. To Peter.
No, Jesus made many.
He got him
parables about fish, but never.
Oh, he never did. Oh,
never
dude, I could swear that's from the Bible.
Teach a fish how to swim.
No, you teach a man, or you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach the man to fish, he eats for the rest of his life.
Yes,
that's really what it comes down to. I honestly believe in that, and I think that's the way it should be. I think that people who are on assistance should slowly be weaned off of assistance, but at the same time, given an objective. Learn how to be a secretary. Learn how to do this stuff. But at the same time, see, that's why everything gets so confusing. It's the reason why the government is so complex. If we were just to stop the government, everything in our world would fall apart. I mean, literally fall apart. And that's the reason why a guy like Donald Trump can't just walk in and go, I want to change all this shit. Because he can't. You are probably just as well as I am, because I know that for a fact I am confused with things like that. Entitlement programs.
Yes, I see it as we need a safety net.
Sure.
And there are Americans, there are good people who cannot provide for themselves.
Right.
Mainly crippled,
older centenarians, older people.
People who are really messed up that cannot do anything for themselves. Right. They're institutionalized.
Veterans that are
veterans
problematic, missing a leg or an arm or something.
Yeah. But to have a 20-year-old coming into the store every day and buying Gatorade and chips with his access card,
food stamps,
is not helping anything.
Right, exactly. See, that's the thing, though.
And we're not helping him at all. We're not helping his 3 babies, 2 of them to other men. We're not helping his girlfriend with all her fresh tattoos bought and paid for by you and I.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing, though. And my wife always brings that up to me. She always says, well, you're thinking about it the wrong way. Like, for instance, okay, I have 2 children that are diabetic. They're type 1 diabetic. And without assistance, we can't pay for their stuff. Their insulin per month is over $1,000. If I had to pay for that out of pocket, I would be fucking dead by now because I just wouldn't be able to do it. So it's good to have Medicaid for that kind of things. Our other 2 children do not have Medicaid. They did, but they don't anymore because we make too much money, supposedly. Anyway, the fact of it is, if my children lost the ability to have the Medicaid, then we're severely in trouble, okay? But when you think about the fact that stuff like, oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it, I tried to work around it, didn't work.
Does that help you?
I powered up. No, I can't think. Shit. I
tell you what.
Okay.
It would be a good spot right here to break camp, call it a night,
all right,
and come back and really give it to them next week.
Next week we can.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
Okay, but not about you and me. It's not that kind of relationship.
I think we talk about sex every week somewhere.
Somewhere, sometimes.
Somehow. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop sexual innuendos and all that, but man, is it so hard.
Well, I
I just threw that in there. It was a grenade. Anyway, yes, we can split off from that.
All right.
We'll come back and talk next week.
Next week.
Oh man, we got to have a political fuck fest one of these. I mean, wait a minute, fight one of these days.
Well, it wasn't really a fight; it was more of a discussion.
Yeah, it really always is kind of just a discussion.
I hope we didn't lose our audience, and I hope they're just as entertained now as they were whenever we were talking about movie clips that I fucked up.
Yeah. That's okay. Next week we're going to do snippets again because I still have those ready to rock and roll. I just didn't add them in today. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love snippets week.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We were going to do it this week, but I ran out of time and I was trying to get all these other things done. So, yes, sir. All right. Very good.
Cue the music.
Let's chew the music.
Oh heck. Well, guys and gals, we don't have any more quarters to go feed the parking meters, so it's time for us to call it a night. But we hope you had as much fun as we did, and we hope you will join us again next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, jeffanddan.com. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate you tuning in. And finally, folks, have a good night and a great week.
See ya.